di lantai 2. Untuk wanita kami sediakan di ruangan 207. Untuk laki-laki kami sediakan di ruangan 205. Dan untuk smoking area ataupun area merokok kami sediakan di depan lobi utama hotel. Baik, demikian yang dapat saya sampaikan. Terima kasih atas perhatian Bapak dan Ibu, dan semoga aktivitas Bapak dan Ibu berjalan dengan lancar. Terima kasih. Siap. Amin.
That's the first time I've heard a round of applause for a safety briefing. So what am I going to get?
Mexican wave.
A very, very warm welcome to everybody. To those that don't know me, my name is Chris Wren. I'm the CEO of the British Chamber of Commerce, and it's my great pleasure to be giving a few opening remarks by way of welcome to you all, as part of this collaboration with CBRE and with BritCham. Just a few words about BritCham for those who are not overly familiar. We are a traditional membership organization. At our heart, our mission is to facilitate trade and investment between the United Kingdom and Indonesia. We have 250 entities as members. They're represented by a community of 1,000, as well as our traditional membership, membership unit, which delivers around about 50 to 60 events per year. We also have two very other important divisions: our BritCham Business Centre, which is focused on market access support for British SMEs wanting to commence their journey in Indonesia, and also the BritCham Education Centre, which is the facilitator of relationships between British universities and Indonesian universities, and connecting both to our private sector membership as well, all with a view to developing and providing opportunities for the top Indonesian talents in this country. This particular event is referred to as the role of facility managers in achieving companies' sustainable target. As I mentioned, CBRE is one of our members, and we are always trying to actively support our members in terms of how they interface with, in some cases, customers here, in other cases, prospective customers here as well. But I think the person that is most appropriate in terms of sharing more information about CBRE in this particular event is herself, Lydia, who I will introduce you to. But before I do that, I'd just like to mention the sponsors who have their tables and booths over in the other room. They are Pand Design Group, PT Congrahaguna, PT Interrix, Interjaya Asia, PT Improdev, and PT Vega Technology Indonesia as well. So these are sponsors of CBRE, specifically come together to help make this event what it is to you. So as I mentioned, it's my great pleasure to pass the baton to Lydia Vishnu Wardani, who is the country lead of CBRE. She's an accomplished country manager with a wealth of experience in the fields of facility management, smart cities, and smart buildings. Are we all smart? Are we feeling smart? Yes. Smart people as well then, yes. With a proven track record of successfully leading and managing diverse teams, she has spearheaded numerous projects that have transformed the way buildings and cities operate. She received her MBA from the University of Dundee in Scotland, UK. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to, as I say, pass the baton over to Lydia Vishnu Wardani, country lead of CBRE. I've already done my steps.
So, Bapak dan Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, it's such a great pleasure actually to welcoming you here. So, Bapak dan Ibu, I think I would like to deliver the opening in English. So, translations will come later, maybe on a separate sessions outside. So, again, I think before I open actually is this. So, thank you very much. I would like to say thank you very much to Chris, BritCham team is for this wonderful collaborations. Thank you very much. And also I would like to thank you for our panelists here, Bapak Andi Utomo, our Deputy Lead Kadin Net Zero, welcome Pak. And also Ibu Farida, who's happened to be a UK graduate sociology with Ibu from Scotland, so welcome Ibu. So she's actually the East Asia Green Building Program Lead, International Finance Corporations IFC, welcome Ibu. Thank you for Ibu Rahmi Idahulan, our lovely client is here. She's actually a head of the facility service from in Asia. I would like to say thank you very much for Pak Kevin Tenggara. Beliau or he's actually our assistant GM for Jaikin. And also last but not least, I would like to say thank you for questions. So thank you for questions and also Jasons who flew here from overseas just for this event. So thank you very much all for your support. So thank you very much. And I think to begin with, I would like to just mention a couple of things about CBRE Indonesia for those maybe who's actually not in the facility business or who's wondering who we are and also what we do. So this are actually a couple of slides. So excuse me, I'm going to turn my side around here. So we are world leading full service real estate services and investments, and we have capabilities than any company in our sector. So we actually have diverse range of clients with an integrated suite of services. So if you see here on the right side, we have advisory services. We have global workplace solutions. We have FM, project manager, and project management is also data center solutions and real estate investments. But in Indonesia, actually we are focusing on these two, facilities management and also project management. And actually for this couple of years, we've actually experienced our enormous growth in facilities management and also project management. So I would like to say thank you very much for our clients, thank you. And also thank you for our sponsors or our vendors, thank you very much for all your support. And last but not least, I would like to say thank you very much and good appreciations for our CBRE Indonesia team. So thank you very much for your hard work. So pass over to next slide please. So when we actually are discussing about what is actually project management, so in summary, I would like to say that actually we are delivering the service starts from the technical due diligence and to support you in finding the best property, and we continue with the design service that suits actually to your visions and brand and culture, and also our integrated project team. We ensure that the implementations of design and accuracies during the construction. So we basically manage end-to-end, start from schedules and budgets to entire construction process. So this is actually our project management. And the next one, please. So what's actually we are delivering for the facilities management? So basically, we are managing and maintaining your physical assets or clients' physical assets of the properties. So these are our integrated services to include the technical services, as you see, it's actually at the front there. And the second ones, we also do energy and sustainability services. And smart building, as mentioned, this as well. Everybody's smart, so this is like we would deliver smart buildings as well. And also we have our systems that captures the performance and analytics, and we also capture the soft services as well. So basically our FM services help clients to optimize their real estate services and ensure, when this actually comes to operations, we ensure the smooth operations actually is in place. And in Indonesia, we are, or CBRE is leading the way in prioritizing sustainability in the real estate industry. I would say we are the first one actually who comes in terms of sustainability. And we are, as the FM professionals, are the driving force behind CBRE's sustainability initiatives. So yeah, what we do actually is by harnessing the power of FM, we can achieve sustainability targets while we actually driving CBRE's business forward in our beloved country. So next please. So in related to our speakers today and our panelists, so I would say that sustainability is not just a buzzword, but it's collaborations that we must actually do together. So by doing this together, we can make an impact. It's not only for socializations, but also for countries, also for the world. So if you'd like to find out more about CBRE, these are the contacts. So we have Dick Bernardis there. Mr. Dick Bernardis is our head of project management. So would you come forward, Mr. Dick Bernardi here? And also we also have Idu Yuliardi. He's our first management business development. So would you like to come here? So if you'd like to find out more about CBRE, so we are all here to provide you with more information. So thank you very much, everyone. So I would like to give speech back to Chris. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ibu Lydia. She mentioned some very experienced panelists with significant expertise as well in the area around which they're going to be speaking. But they're going to be led this afternoon by our moderator, Andy Chita Warman, who is the chairman of the BritCham Smart Sustainable Cities Hub. So he's a very smart person.
Isn't my title?
He's a boss smart person.
Only on title.
Just a little bit about Andy, who also has offices in the same complex as us across the road at World Trade Center complex. Andy is the water sector leader with a wide range of experience in the water sanitation and hygiene wash sector. This is for Mott MacDonald. Extensively experienced in managing design and build contracts for water, for wastewater infrastructure utilities projects in the United Kingdom, in the UAE, and also in Singapore. Experienced in managing FIDIC Pink Book, MDB Harmonized Edition, combined unit rate and lump sum items projects in Indonesia. Now, who knows what all of that is? I'm sure Andy will find a way of letting us know what all of that is. Experienced in project definition, developing innovative solutions, building high-performing teams, providing technical guidance to contractors and partners, and managing international donor projects in Southeast Asia for the likes of the ADB, DFAT, Australia, with particular focus on gender equality, disability and social inclusion, environmental safeguards, institutional regulatory frameworks, strengthening capacity building, community development, and climate resilient solutions. I know him as Andy. Smart Andy, chairman of the BritCham Smart Sustainable Cities Hub, our moderator today, a perfect gentleman, wonderfully qualified to lead a great panel. Andy.
Should I talk from here?
Test.
Okay, so I'm going to sit down. Thank you all for coming. Great to see so many people turning up for CBRE's event. Thank you, CBRE, for being the host for this event. We have a stellar cast of leaders in sustainability, sustainable practices in Indonesia. We are now moving in an age of a green transition, a blue transition, and if you look outside, you know, a lot of people get sick nowadays by breathing the air. This year is the first year that there is angin petung beliung, or tornado, in Bandung. 2023 is the highest temperature on record for the past 100,000 years. There must be something done, to be honest, if you ask me. And to see these companies, to see these speakers today showcasing their contributions towards sustainable development is something that we need to look at more. I was talking to Pa Antoni before, you know, how do we do something, how do we make a change? You know, it needs to come from the top, obviously. So C-levels of companies needs to be risen, their awareness of the importance of sustainability. But also from the bottom up, you know, the NGOs, you know, all the initiatives on the ground. But I'm very interested to learn more about what each of the speakers will bring to the table. So I think I will.
Just one moment, Andy. You wouldn't have been aware of this, and I'm sorry. I was given notice a little bit earlier. Actually, we have a special guest from CBRE today, Jason Tothill, who is the Divisional Vice President of CBRE, and perhaps most appropriate before you invite your panel up would be if we could have some special remarks from Jason.
I did hear about this.
My apologies, Jason.
Oh, no apologies. Wow, this is a big pressure now. You've in the middle. Can you guys hear me in the background?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Wow, I wasn't just expecting just to come up, say a few words, slide off the back, and then this gentleman starts talking with lots of words and acronyms I don't quite understand as well. So I'd rather go before the smart people, not just after they've started as well. But look, I'll keep it super brief. So look, my name's Jason. I don't have a name tag, but I'm sure you can remember what I look like when I'm standing out the back. It'd be great to connect with as many of you afterwards. I'm at CBRE. I'm the Divisional Vice President for our Asia Pacific business, and I'm based in Singapore. And I understand there's a joke in here about flying from Singapore to Jakarta to talk about a sustainability event. I completely understand that. But when the team told me that this event was oversubscribed, what I mean by that is we don't have enough, we can't have enough supply, we've got more people that want to come to this event. That for me really justified why I wanted to come here today and connect with as many as people as possible on this important topic. So firstly, thanks to Lydia, thanks to the CBRE team, and thanks to everyone that's made effort to join us here today. I'm sure this is the first of many events that will work alone and in partnership with our friends and colleagues throughout the year. And I don't think there's a better topic to kick off in January than sustainability as well. Being oversubscribed was a big part of me coming, but the second factor for that moral decision to jump on a plane this morning was actually I wanted to be in a room full of conscientious business leaders, and I really see the discussion and the supply partners at the back that that does validate why I jumped on that plane this morning. So just a tiny bit about me. I've been in the industry about 20 years. I know I look much younger than that, but I've been with CBRE for 12 of those, and no matter where I've worked, where I've lived, and what job I've had in CBRE, whether that's in the data center business, the global accounts business, or in our FM business, I've spent the last 12 years always talking about sustainability, and it's always been on the list, no matter what I'm up to. And the first job I actually did at CBRE was I was on the project delivery side, and the very first job I was doing was for an investment bank, and it was a replacement of halogen lights to LED. And at the time I was getting really into it. I was really into the calculations, And 12 years on, I'm still talking about the same thing. And I think the only difference really is that organisations such as CBRE and the organisations you work for, we've set targets and we have roadmaps in place. So rather than these isolated independent projects that we were working on, we're now working on this in a strategic fashion to tackle a big issue to meet goals and commitments that we've made. In 12 years' time, I'm probably still going to be seeing some calculations across my desk around retrofit and some other stuff, but it'd be really good to see what happens today and learn from individuals far smarter than me. That's all from me. Please learn something from the session. I'm sure we will, but always the magic's at the back of the room and the networking afterwards. It'd be great to make some new connections and talk to you and hear from some of the challenges that you have as well. So that's all from me. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Jason. There was apologies for not following protocol, but I think thanks for the remarks. So just a reminder, as you can see, the title of today's discussions or panel discussions is the role of facility managers in achieving sustainability targets, and what a stellar cast of speakers we have on board to bring us their experiences and how we can all contribute. So we've got the likes of Kadin, representing Indonesian businesses, IFC, the monetary sort of like financing institutions. We've got Kevin from the supply chain. We've got Ibu Rahmi from the buildings sort of sector as well, and AirAsia on the transportation sector as well, and obviously CBRE as a host. And I think I will introduce each speaker one by one in terms of their expertise and what they can bring to the table. So I must maybe start with one of the speakers, maybe Mr. Anthony. So Anthony is the deputy chair, Anthony Utomo. I've met him several times already, Anthony. Deputy chair of Kadin Net Zero Hub for Indonesia Chamber of Commerce, Kadin. And Anthony serves as the deputy chair of Permanent Committee on Policy and Regulation of Energy and Mineral Resources Department of Kadin. He's also expanded his role in the field of clean energy transition as the deputy lead for Kadin Net Zero Hub, who I knew Anthony from last year. He's also the head of Transition Program of Sustainability Committee of Kadin. And besides Kadin, Anthony also serves as a vice chair of Indonesia Solar Association, AESI, and since 2018 serves as the member of Dewan Pengurus Nasional, or National Committee Board of the Indonesian Employers Association, Asosiasi Pengusaha Indonesia Apindo, until now. Okay, thank you, Anthony. Maybe you want to join me on stage? Next, we have Ibu Farida. So, Ibu Farida Lazida Aji. So, Ibu Farida, as Ibu Lydia introduced previously, is International Finance Corporation's, IFC's, East Asia Green Building Program Lead. So, this is quite an important sector that Indonesia still needs to expand on, green buildings. Ibu Ida is the Regional Green Building Lead for IFC Climate Business Group. Ibu Ida is based in Jakarta. In 2010 to 2015, was involved in the early development of EDGE, and led the IFC Green Building Program in Indonesia to become one of IFC's flagship projects in Indonesia. Following successful engagement with the provincial government of DKI Jakarta, Municipality of Bandung, Ministry of Public Works and Housing, with introducing green building codes at the regional and national levels. And I think the Ministry of Public Works is also quite active at the moment at the new capital city in certifying the developments there. And 2015 to 2020, Ibu Ida was assigned in Manila for IFC in Philippines to work with investment policy and business regulatory reforms. Very important activity. In 2020, Ibu Ida rejoined IFC Jakarta and became the position that she is leading today. So Ibu Ida, please welcome us to the stage. Thank you. Great to see female leaders on the team as well. So next, I will introduce Pak Kevin. So Kevin Tenggara, all right? So the supply chain. How can the supply chain transition as well to provide us green products? I think that's the key question. So Pak Kevin is the head of sales development, technical sales, and site supervision in Daikin Indonesia, based in Jakarta, and has been part of Daikin since 2010. In the sales department, his area of expertise is offering HVAC or heating, ventilation, air conditioning solutions to end user customers and practitioners such as developers, asset owners, consultants, and national key accounts. In the technical sales, his role is to ensure high quality design and technical support to clients, providing high technology software that for heat load calculations, design selections, HVAC solution systems are important things that he aims to align between his clients' needs, the regulatory sort of constraints, as well as the environmental targets, protection targets. HVAC is integral as part of buildings' contributions to greenhouse gases emissions reduction. So his site supervision team will ensure the installation is done to the benefit of the customers in the sustainable transition. Daikin is a company that takes initiative to lead on carbon neutralization, so I'm interested to hear Daikin's plan in realizing their roadmap. He is a part of an advocacy team that supports activities such as refrigerant recovery, which is a collaboration with BritCham. I haven't actually heard of BritCham, so maybe you can tell me about that. Energy management for VAC system and acceleration of inverter penetration into Indonesia to ensure serious efforts to manage all of the environmental concerns. So, Pak Kevin, please join us on stage. Okay, next. So we've got CBRE APAC Environmental and Social Lead. So we've got Mr. Koh Kwok Soon. So Mr. Koh is one of the lead for APAC Energy and Sustainability, community in CBRE. Mr. Kwok has often been the key point of contact for CBRE's global and regional platforms, delivering decarbonization retrofits, very important for existing buildings, best practices, latest industry updates, etc. Mr. Kwok was most recently with the Building Construction Authority, PCA of Singapore, was the lead auditor and assessor, okay, let's go, for many of Singapore's iconic buildings, very important, in attaining the highest rating of the Singapore Green Building Certification. So I'll be interested to see how your experience can be implemented here, how maybe we can collaborate with the Green Building Council of Indonesia as well. So Mr. Kevin and Mr. Kwok, please join us on stage. Thank you. Okay, and next, and last but not least, we have Ibu Rahmi Wulan. As Ibu Lydia says, one of the key clients of CBRE here. So Ibu Rahmi is the Facility Services Manager for Air Asia, who has a solid experience and footprint of more than 20 years, mainly for facilities management, British Petroleum, BP Jakarta, and partially for Papua. Interesting. Successfully complemented BP Office Transformation Project, and at the same time transitioning the new facilities management operation to be more sustainable, agile, and enhanced for customers' experience, or for enhanced customer experience. Ibu Rahmi successfully obtained SKK Migas 2020 Best Facilities Management Award, congratulations, amongst all oil and gas companies. Well done. And Ibu Rahmi has a strong attributes in setting up robust business strategy, execution plans, and performance management to ensure achieving business goal with leveraging complete skill sets of real estate, facilities management, project management, financial management, procurement, health, safety, environment management, every important activities that a building manager and an asset owner needs to do. And Ibu Rahmi has a passion in making the office for a better place for people to work in, and for the employees to enjoy through enhanced digitally facilities management service and new agile workplace setup. So Ibrahim, please come and join us. So I think each of the panelists have got a slide deck for them sort of presentation to showcase their solutions on how they're contributing to the green paradigm shift for sustainable development, particularly in sustainable business practices. So maybe Mas, can we start with Pak Antoni's slides? Thank you. Silakan Pak Antoni. How many minutes, timekeeper? Up to us. I think maybe 10 minutes or something like that. Up to you.
Okay, it's okay. I'll do it quick. I'm more interested with the engagement on
With the
Q&A.
discussions.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, thank you, Pak Andi and CBRE and BritCham for having us. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Anthony, and today I was invited on behalf of Net Zero Hub. So let me share a bit about Net Zero Hub. So Net Zero Hub is actually a part of Kadin. It's the only mandated organization by law to represent the voice of industry. So part of the expectation I have is also I want to learn from you. I want to learn from the facility managers how we can push and give policy recommendations so the ecosystem is getting better and we can accelerate the sustainability effort in our respective place. So in Net Zero Hub, we were born during the G20. It's part of the pledge from our chairman, Pak Arsyad, who is sabbatical now, to help and support businesses so we can have a platform to learn from each other and accelerate the net zero journey in our respective sector. So now, actually, at the moment, we have more than 60, so it's around 80 companies have an intent to pledge to do the net zero framework under SBTI and join Net Zero Hub. So if any of you, your company is not in this list yet, I hope to see on our next session. So what is Net Zero Hub and how you can join Net Zero Hub? So basically, it's a simple mechanism. There is no cost for it because this is a pro bono initiative by Kadin. So you just apply and we will have a working group network and we have a training. We have a COP, Corporate Assistance Program, and of course, we will celebrate together our net zero journey and sustainability effort. So our framework has been SBTI from day one, because there are so many Bibles in the world that we have to pick. So in Kadin, after we have a concession with our knowledge partners, we are a believer of SBTI as our main frame. Because when you calculate the greenhouse gas protocol, there are so many sustainability effort and implementation, tactical steps how to cut down the net zero journey. So we are a believer in SBTI, and I think SBTI has become more and more mainstream, not only in Indonesia, but also all around the world. This is what we do, so we work also with CDP, the Carbon Disclosure Project, to assist the companies to calculate their emission and also to disclose how many emissions they can cut every milestone up until the time they are pledging. And we always put a transparency on top of this. So the CAP is trying to help a deeper understanding about the emission calculation and reporting. So that's why I talked to my good friend Andy here. We all need the support from all of our part of the management, from the top level, from the facility managers, and mostly from the practitioners like you. So in CAP, it's not only we are learning, but we are also sharing what are the solutions and the things that we can do to accelerate our sustainability effort in our place. So I think I'm just share a bit. In Indonesia, of course, we have a standard. We have sort of like a compliant tools to enforce this, but I do think that we cannot rely on the compliance or regulations only, because more and more we are encouraging companies to set up a higher standard than what the government expected us. In Net Zero Hub, we truly believe that it's no longer a game of shame, ladies and gentlemen. It's
about the survival of our competitiveness in Indonesia. For example, in specific sector like Europe, for example, we have what we call CBAM, Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. So after a few years, there are several items under specific HS code. When you export to Europe, you will be calculated based on the carbon that you emit to make certain product. That means certain countries like Indonesia, who is having also a challenge to have a clean energy pathway, will also have a challenge. So in my other role, I also serve in the Solar Association. So maybe a few of you or many of you also have some challenges in putting the easiest self-power generation like solar. So I think this is not only a problem of specific industry, but this is the basic issue of our market structure. That's why in Klaten we try to advocate this has become an investment climate issue. So I do hope today we can learn each other, and in the bigger context, we need the support of industries like you. When the voice of the industry is getting bolder, it could be a very positive pain points to accelerate all the efforts that we do in Indonesia. So this is a little bit of SBTI, but I want to give a little bit of example of what can we do in our respective workplace. As you know, Indonesia actually have a very strict, or not strict, very unclear path on EV adoption. So we just talked with Pak Andy, and I do think because of the limitation of time, I will give two examples. For example, in Indonesia now, there is no compliance or regulation that dictates how many percent of parking lots are needed to be converted into public EV charging stations. So I do think that's the real role of facility managers, to accelerate this and bring these ideas on the table. Because as you know, this year we will have more than 200,000 EV cars on our roads. At least that's the projection by the Ministry of Industry. Last December, we have the exemption of the CPU cars can be imported with zero tax, as long as the brand maker are committing to make the factory in Indonesia. What does it mean? The EV adoption will be accelerated faster than ever. So that's where more and more locations are needed to ensure that people can have the security to charge their own car. So I give you example of my personal experience. So I'm an EV user. I drove one brand of EV available in the market, but the public charging station is not even available in my apartment. So these are the examples that when I come to the P3 SRS, they just say, "Pak, you are the second EV user out of 400 lot." So we don't think it's that urgent. You can find some SPKLO outside, and you leave it there, and the next day you take out. Of course, I didn't do that. So these are a simple example of how, as a facility manager, we have to get a leap of progressive thinking ahead of what the government dictates us. In Kadin, of course, we try to put this in the institutionalized way. In the new building, the SLF has to be embed public charger as the part of the facilities. But what about the existing building? I do believe that there are many more existing buildings than the newer ones. And second one, I give example on the health and safety environment aspect. Most of the building in Indonesia actually have a risk of falling at heights. And in Indonesia, fall protection is one of a very small thing that is become a luxurious thing. And with the more installed renewables in solar rooftop, you can imagine there will be people who at least doing operation, maintenance, and you will be amazed of how the association get the data, and there is not even a fall protection and walkway. So these are the simple example of the thing that I do believe a facility manager can accelerate and also bring it up on the upper management. Because without us, the ecosystem will not be complete. So to close a bit, I want to show an example of a project that we engaged with. This is a part of the project in Tamrin 9. It's the highest building in Southern Hemisphere. To be honest, when I heard that, I didn't catch the name, because I thought this is like somewhere in Jakarta Selatan or Jaksel. I was like Southern, okay. But Tamrin is in the north, right? So when I went there, I was explained by the developer, and this is gonna be the tallest building in the southern part of the planet, which is quite cool. Indonesia have the tallest building there. But like a few months ago, there was no EV charging station at all. And now the developer is quite progressive. They're installing 20 guns, which I think more than most of the building that I found out in Jakarta. So we do want to push and encourage the facility managers to think about progressive stuff like this. Because if we are not thinking exceeding the speed of the growth of the EV adoption, we'll be left behind. And of course in Kadin, we are very welcome. It's a home for most of industry, if not all industry in Indonesia. So anytime you have some concern, you want to sampaikan, or you just want to have the how to do the SPTI, we have a workshop from time to time. And of course, thanks to CBRE, I do believe to Lydia, we can be a good friend, hopefully from now on in the future, because we cannot do this alone. And thank you for having Kadin today, and hope to connect with you all even after the event. Thank you, Edi. Coming back to you.
Thank you very much, Anthony. So I think before we go to Ibu Farida, it'll be good for me to just ask one question after the presentation, and then we go the more interactive discussions after, so everyone at least gets one question. So what my question to Pak Anthony, representing Kadin and various organizations and companies you're involved with. 2024 is an interesting year, it's a political year. We don't know where the political narrative is going. We don't know what the momentum will be for Indonesia for the green paradigm shift. But Kadin has got a net zero hub. Kadin has got 60 members, or is it 18 now?
It's 18.
18 now, right? So hopefully the numbers grow. But the private sector, if the government has a change in the priorities, the private sector can step up, hopefully, right? And I see at the moment from talking to you, no facility managers or real estate or sort of buildings, sort of companies yet entering the net zero hub. So you mentioned that you invite some Kadin workshops, you organize sort of these events. What is the next one? And can people come and talk to you from the audience here, who obviously are, oversubscribed? That's what Jason was saying before. How can they contribute? What is the quickest way for people to enter and become, from 80 to 180 in 2024?
Okay, thank you, Andy. I do think your question is very relevant, because this is a journey, right?
Yes.
Why I said it's journey. For example, if we dig a little bit on the narration of SPTI, even the real estate sector are still being improved over time. That means there has to be an adaptive journey over time that cannot be solved within a day. But in the Kadin context, actually we are ready to facilitate, for example, workshop that is coordinated by BritCham for interested companies. They are willing to know what is SPTI, how they can start, what are the basic of greenhouse gas calculation. So these are one of the tools that we can kick start with, But what we need is, because most of these activities are actually supported by members, donors of Kadin, what we need is actually not the money, but the commitment aftermath.
Yes.
Because once we go to this journey, we need to be able to learn from the practitioners what can be done and what cannot be done on the solution aspect.
And you're saying you need a company strategy being committed by the C-level, so that
Yes.
it's a real commitment from the company.
Yes, so when a company joins Kadin Net Zero Hub, we have a checklist that the commitment has to be coming from the top decision making on the board level, stated or stipulated from the actor or from the team. So there is actually just one of the tools for making sure that you have the support from the top management. But even if you don't, I'm willing to go with you and convince them so they say yes.
Thank you very much, Anthony. That was very good. So I think as a, with the caliber of the discussions today, hopefully it keeps people interested. Anyway, one more. Thanks for we have Ibu Farida. Ibu Farida, please. Let us know what your thoughts are from the financial sector. What is the transition in the green buildings, building certifications and things like that. Silakan Bu.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Andi. Thank you very much. Selamat sore Ibu dan Bapak sekalian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Maybe quick way introduction. So I'm Ida Farida Lasidarji. I am based in Jakarta working for IFC, that is International Finance Corporations. Actually have a slide on who we are. If I can work these things. There you go. So again, IFC, we are part of the World Bank group. So perhaps you're more familiar with the World Bank that works with governments on building bridges, schools, hospitals, and whatnot. So as part of the IFC, this is the investment arm of it, particularly for the private sector. So IFC invests in businesses and also through financial intermediaries in banks. And we can also, we can only invest in the private sectors. So as one of our investment criteria, more and more, is related to the climate change. So we, now 85% of our investment has to be Paris aligned, and then by 2025 it has to be 100%. So as we do our investments, we see that there still is some, if I may use the words of advisory or technical assistance, so that people are more engaged in climate, so then we can also help them invest, right? And given that, the IFC has a department called Climate Business Department, and that's kind of my boxes is with the corporations. And as part of the climate business agenda, we're doing different kind of things, as you can imagine. Some are kind of more advanced in terms of development, such as the one that I'm overseeing right now for East Asia, which is the green buildings. But there are some that are still kind of in our development stages, like green hydrogens, carbon capture storage, all this kind of fancy, fancy names, right? But in Indonesia, we've been working on the green buildings since 2010, so it's been 14 years now, and it's continued to be challenging, as some of my colleague panels would know, and then you facility managers, of course, right, would very much understand. So we came into this area understanding there's a lot of elements, particles that we need to work on. So that's why this kind of maybe four-prong approach that we have. So when we started, we worked on the kind of regulatory side of things, as mentioned earlier. We work with national governments and also local governments in helping them to come up with policy regulations that kind of push the agenda forward. This was 2010, as you can imagine. Yasha mentioned about the LED. At that time also, LED was not really here. It was still kind of a bit of a technology that's not, kind of new at that time. But now, if you go to supermarket, if you go to hardware, if you go to toko listrik, they will only sell LED, right? So technology also helps in that sense. But we worked initially with the authority, trying to push the agenda forward, but we also understand that we need to work with the private sector and with the on education side of things and the financing. So here you have the kind of the four-prong approach, where we also work on the financing side of things. IFC invested in few developers that's committed to invest in green. Also IFC invested in, I think in Indonesia so far, only a couple of banks, but it was quite a big investment, whereby portions of that investment is kind of the confidence is that it has to be used for greens, right, including green buildings. And we also engage with universities on educations. We now have about 20 university partners and also architect associations, whereby we build a models on green buildings, and then they train it, they deliver it as a elective models in universities. At the very heart of that, we have a tool called Edge. So Edge is, I have a slide on it right after this, but Edge is a tool that is in public domain, so everybody can use it. It's edgebuildings.com. Just need to sign up. No need to, it's web-based, so no need to kind of download an app or anything, and it's free. So facility managers, building managers, please have a look at it. Edgebuildings.com, and then there's a button, a small button that says app, and then you can click on it, and you can input your building data, locations, some data, type of buildings, and all the information, and then immediately you'll see where you stand in terms of building performance compared to your peers. If you are in retail, then in Jakarta, then that gives you comparisons of your buildings against average malls, retails in Jakarta. If you're in apartment, then you click on apartment. If you're in office, office. So that's kind of a tool that we hope is in public domain. We hope that it's useful, not just on the certification side of things, but for people to kind of see where they stand in terms of the building performance on energy and water and carbon embodied in materials. So the last round that I mentioned to say is the certifications. And on the Edge certifications, it's green building certifications, like Indonesia has its own green chips, Singapore green mark. I saw that Tamrin 9, right? It's green mark certified from Singapore. Those of you from UK may be more familiar with BritCham. From Australia, there's Green Star, and the US is LEED, right? In Indonesia, our partner on the ground is actually Green Building Council Indonesia. So the same people that runs the green ships also help us in implementing Edge in Indonesia. Right, and this is the look and feel of the Edge software. It's an app, it's a web-based, it's free. Everybody can just log on and using it. So it's built with, I guess the F in IFC stands for finance, right? So we're very much quantitative people, and we really want to bring a solutions, make it easy for people wherever they are, in Africa, in Latin America, in Asia, in Europe, in the US, wherever, right? So that they can just plug in and simulate, and immediately they see, as I said, right, where they are in terms of energy performance, water, as well as carbon embodied and materials for their buildings. But not only that, the software or the app also has a dashboard that gives people information on where they stand in terms of their financial decisions, right? So if, for example, your current building and the Edge, once you plug it in the numbers and your data, and then it shows that there's no saving, but then if you probably change your lighting to LED, for example, it's very easy to use, it's very intuitive. I think people just kind of, browsing, click on it, and they'll get a hang of it. So they can choose maybe change the lighting to LED. There is a button to click on it, and you can also customize how much you want to change it. If you want to put solar panel, how much of your energy consumption you want to be, coming from the solar panel, for example, or if you want to put sensors in your building, or if you want to change your chiller to a more, better performance. You can do all sort of things, play around, and then it immediately gives you the potential saving, but also the indicative. I said indicative because it's not, it's indicative costs related to that. How much incremental cost do you need? And that is specific to the location. So we're not comparing, if you're in Jakarta, then it's Jakarta prices. It's not, Singapore or Manila prices, right? And then also immediately real time, you'll also see the return on investment payback period, because we're comparing against the potential electricity saving KWH in kilowatt hours as well as in rupiah. So the system can immediately gives you a payback period of say 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and whatnot. And then it also has a climate calculator, something that I mentioned earlier. So it gives you an approximate indication of how much metric ton will you be able to save if you choose that measures, right? You want to change the LED, for example, then you'll be able to save the whole planet by how many carbon emissions. So it gives you that. So I'll encourage you to again go ahead and check it out, edgebuildings.com, and play around. And if you need support in doing that, happy to do so. I guess Pak Andi has my contact, or Ibu Lydia. I have a team in Jakarta that'd be happy to come to your office, do a bit of simulation, assessment, or even train your people so that they can eventually do it on their own. So this is the apps at the very heart of it. And then because our approach is very quantitative, we're able to help people if they have an aspirations of getting into zero carbon. I'm sure it's something that we all aspire by 2060, right? It's net zero by 2030. We have targets as NBC targets as well, national determinate contributions, right? So we can help you in that trajectory, in that pathway. How do we do that? Is actually we'll try and find those measures that can bring your building's performance to at least a minimum saving energy of 40%, or we call Edge Advance. Once you get that right now in Edge, you can then still offset it. I mean, it's not ideal, but I mean, we focus on the reduce first before you can offset. But buildings, as you know, is a bit hard to become totally net zero, right? Unless but anyway. We can still allow for carbon offset, and that's an example here on the slide here. It's Ecolog in Cikarang. It's a service apartment owned by Asia Green Real Estate. They managed to get this Edge Zero Carbon certificate by first of all getting into 82% of energy savings, so that's a lot. And I mean, they do it by design. They do so many things in their buildings. And then the remaining 18%, with Edge, you can either offset it with the PLN renewable energy certificates, or go to the UNFCCC platforms and then buy the carbon offset there. And right now, the price for carbon offset is not that significant. I think for this building, it costs them less than $200 per year to kind of offset that. But to begin with, they're already 80% energy saving. And then in the pipeline, we're hoping that we'll get office buildings and hotels also to get into zero carbon certificate. Hopefully, we will continue the discussions with people in the audience this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to discuss more how IFC and Edge can work with you on, kind of start looking into the pathways for your buildings to become zero carbon as well. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you very much. Round of applause. Thank you, Farida. So I'll probably just have also an introductory initial one question to Ibu Farida. We were talking with Anthony, with Pak Kevin, and Pak Michael about how do we get businesses to buy into a more sustainable business practice. A lot of the ways are through penalties, or scaring people away rather than incentives, or engaging and bringing people in. So what are some of the innovative financing mechanisms, I don't know, through new ways of housing loans, or Anthony was saying, how can we get developers to introduce more charging stations? Can they get more financing incentives that way from banks? Are there IFC sort of innovative methods being implemented or being designed at the moment that you could share with us?
Thanks, Randy. So yeah, it is. It's still a challenge, especially in Indonesia. Given I won't talk much, but I think the audience knows it very well, right? Talk about solar panels, right? People already laugh, right? So, I think you know it, that it's not so much. But yeah, I think if the business will make it the calculation, I mean, right? If only, right? If only we can, the take up is more than 50% maybe, right? So there is still conditions that I think needs to be worked out with the government, and I hope Kadin can be a good counterpart in pushing that agenda, right? It needs to be improved. I think if we have an electricity systems that is more, I guess, conducive for the uptake of solar panels, so that such that the payback period actually makes sense, right, for people. I think they will then, of course, consider it, think about it, right? So that's one. And then I mentioned we started with the regulations policy before in 2010, right? The idea at that time is to start bringing the awareness and also raising the, raising the playing field, not for everybody, but for the people who can already do that. So when we advised the government to put in the green building codes, we did calculations and discussed with them, and we did public consultations, and we said that we recommended that it's only like for certain like 5,000 square meters or above, or 10,000 square meters or above, 50,000 for bigger projects, right? So that they can already implement it, right? They have the people, the engineer, the architects who can help them, and there's technology already available. So something like that. I mean, like I guess policy to push it, but not like it's just right. It's just policy that is just right. That's the hope. And then incentive also it can kick in, right? We've had a great story. Unfortunately, it's in Colombia, not in Indonesia, whereby we want to bring it here actually, where IFC investment in a bank, in a local bank. It was a bond. It helped to kind of trigger the housing market to kind of get into green space. The bond, the financing that we gave to this bank was able to kind of lower the interest rate a bit. And the bank is also convinced that by giving mortgage at a lower interest rate, if the projects are green, their risk, the bank's risk, is because they hope that the owner of the home, who are the green homes, they'll be able to pay their loans, their mortgage more, given that they will be paying low electricity rates, right?
Lower OPEX.
Lower OPEX. So in terms of like credit risk from bank is also justified, right?
Okay.
So, and then it kickstarts the whole thing from like nothing, green mortgage for homes. Now it's like 20%. So I think we want to bring those kind of examples here as well. And then if governments can give more incentives, for example, if people are building greens, maybe give a little bit more of build up area, right? That can be one. Different kind of incentive. We have studies, information from other countries that we can bring in. We can work with Kadim too.
Thank you. That was a good answer. Thank you. Once again, next we have Pak Kevin. So these are the supply chain. How does the supply chain deal with the green transition? So silakan Pak Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Padi. Thank you, everyone. So I'm Kevin. I come from Daikin. So I think everyone knows Daikin is the AC company. So with this opportunity, I would like to share also. This year will be the 100 years company as a Daikin Global. Thank you very much. So I start about our Daikin Global go to these sustainability targets and our Daikin Indonesia. So first, why AC is more important for this sustainability? So first, because you can see the AC will take the 35% more to your energy in your residentials and also the building. So it's a very important for us to saving energy in this part. And if you look at based on the data, within the 2050, the Indonesia especially will be the triples the demand about the space cooling. So it's been the requirements of the coolings will be increased triples in the 2050, which is the impact of the energy consumptions. So that's why Daikin, as the leading manufacturers, Daikin Global were thinking how to solve this issue. So actually, Daikin Global have the Daikin Environmental Efficient 2050 through the products, solutions, and the power of the air. I'm sorry, it's quite small fonts, but I mean the size. But first, the most important thing is the true products. How we deliver the energy efficiency products into the markets, and the second is true solutions, not only the products. How we manage, control the energy of our air conditioners, especially in the building and also the residentials. The last thing is the reducing the reminder buy. So this is the not only we are supplying and manage, but how about the after the aircon was used? So we must be thinking also. So this was part of the Daikin trying to achieve by the net zero in the 2050. Actually, if you see the target of Indonesia is actually 2060 to go to net zero. So actually, the Daikin Global trying to achieve 2050. So which is 2050, we can implement our product to Indonesia by the net zero. It's more faster than the Indonesia roadmaps. So next, this is the World and Indonesia roadmap for the carbon neutralization. So I take from the 1987 in the Montreal Protocol. So nations agreement to protect our ozone layers. So most is the first is the carbons, because our air conditioner is using the carbons. So last time we are using like the R22 for the refrigerant of our conditioning, but it's already because that one is the CFC. Now we already not using. Now we're using our newest refrigerant is the R32, which is a low GWP and also zero ODP. So regarding because the end of the 2022, Indonesia was ratified the Kigali Amendment already, so it become the commitment from Indonesia to reduce the carbon. And then for the energy, actually 2009 we already have the Green Building Council Indonesia as the initiative for Indonesia consultant to create this green building certified. And then the second is governments especially implemented the energy level, especially for the residential air conditioning by using the EER. Last time is 4 stars. And 2021, the governments implemented the green buildings for the government project. They call the BGH is Bangunan Gedung Hijau, and it's a mandatory for all government buildings. So if you can see the new capital city, all is following the green buildings standards. And then 2022, they have changed the energy levels from the EER to become the CSVF of 5-star. So all, if you can see in your house, the residential, there will have that logo. So it's important for you to buy the aircons. More star that you got, more energy saving you got. So that next 2060 that our Indonesia will trying to achieve the net zero buildings. So next is the most common air conditioning system you can see in everywhere, in the house, maybe in the cafe, restaurants, they use this kind of the room air conditioner. So if you can see now we try to shift our refrigerants to R32, which is already mentioned, to reduce the carbon issue. Is the zero ODP and low GWP around the 675, which is the below than the standards. Currently is the 700 GWP, and you can see about the efficiency fund value. The governments start from the 1 star, which is the TSPF on 3.5, until the highest is the 5 stars, is 5 and above 5 CSVF ratings. So actually, in terms of the product, we are delivered to the markets with the high technology. Our inverters models is already 5-star technology. Maybe inverter is already common to the all products. So yes, we are Daikin's. Our inverter product is already got the 5 stars, which is the most energy efficiency currently in Indonesian markets. Next is I think some facility manager also now this kind of the commercial products. We have the commercial products like the SkyM is for the light commercials. Actually, our SkyM is also we are a big just for your information in the commercials. The government currently they do give any max energy ratings in the commercial products only for residential. Commercial product is reflect to the green buildings. So it's only you apply the green building, they will request you to follow their minimum ratings, which is currently their minimum ratings by the PVCI is COP based on the 4.19. Is counted as your product can get the 1 point for the green buildings certified. Okay, so if you look at our Skyer, is actually all of them is past the green building standards, and also the premium technology we call the VRV is also almost all is achieved the minimum standard of the green building council in Indonesia. So actually the product was there. We deliver to the markets that our product is already above than the minimum requirement to achieve the energy saving. Next one is very difficult nowadays because if the cooling you can feel is cool or hot, right? But the air quality no one can feel. Is it clean or not? So it's very important that now all the building was consider this. But however, if you took the fresh air from outside, Jakarta nowadays is the most worst city for the air quality. So that's why most of the building now considers we call the pre-cooling fresh air. So the pre-cooling fresh air actually can reduce your capacity of the air conditioning. So it means your energy also can be more lower, around the 30%. Now we are collaborating with the NAFAS, is the indoor air quality consultants. We work together. So if you need some to check your air quality, because I mentioned you cannot feel it's either it's good or bad. Yeah, you can check they have the measurements to check your buildings. Then after that we can continue to how to improve your air quality. Next step is the most important thing is after the product is energy management. If the product is already energy saving, but without your manage, it's very difficult. Let's say your product is already high ratings, but you always use in the 16 degrees Celsius temperature in the remote control. It's the same, right? Your product will be work hard to get more coolings than you need. So that's energy management is very important things. Now we have the one of our centralized controllers, so they can manage. You can manage your own products, especially for air conditioning, from the temperature settings and also schedule. Why schedule is more important because some people left the office without turn off the AC, so you need to schedule after office hour, then all your AC turn off. With this kind of the behavior, I think you can get more severe than the product is. The next is the refrigerant recovery. Actually, that we mentioned, because inside our products there is the carbon inside. We call the refrigerants, which is currently is still have the slightly impact to our GWP. So it's our duty to do the recovery, reclaims and recycling, or is including the destructions. In the 2021, we collaborate with the regulates to collect refrigerant from service, maintenance, and also replacements. 2023, we are collaborating again with the Iwatani. So all of you, if you need us to collect your, the refrigerants for the existing building, please do not hesitate to contact to us. So that's all for me. So if any issue, I put the numbers there so you can contact me anytime. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, I have one quick question as well for Pak Kevin. I just noticed that we've got 30 minutes left, so maybe the other two speakers, apologies, might have to give the chance to the audience as well to answer. But I guess from Mr. Kevin and Dakin's perspective, with regards to an ESG policy or some sort of company level strategy, hearing what Pak Antony was saying in terms of the Net Zero Hub can help. What is the current vision of a Net Zero roadmap for Dakin as a company? And if there's not, what can you take back to the senior management in terms of how can we work together to achieve that whatever desired targets?
Okay, thank you, Bani. Yeah, actually, currently for in Dakin Indonesia, we still don't have a clear image for the roadmaps, but we still are following the ours mother's company. It's a Dakin Global for the still three product solutions and so on. But it's good to meet the Antony. Maybe we can discuss after this and bring back to the top management for the solution. Actually, we take the initiative currently from our office. We select the one of the building with the green building mark, green mark platinums. That's the one, and also the second, we call our office is smart and healthy. So we are controlling the energy of our office.
Yep.
So currently it's still on this step level. So I think with our commitment as a global, we're looking for future what we want to do for the next few years. Sorry. So maybe after this we can discuss together with Pak Antony, and we'll see what we can do.
Good stuff. Thank you. Okay, applause for Mr. Kevin. Okay, next we've got Mr. Kwok from CBRE, the host. So let's see what CBRE's showcase piece for today is.
Hi. Yeah, just to share, just now the Tamrin 9 shown by one of the person. Actually, I'm the assessor for that. So I'm glad that it becomes an iconic building in Indonesia. So there's one more I can put inside my CV. Yeah. So before I go on, I would like you to maybe take out a handphone and scan this QR code. Yeah, the QR code will lead you to a countdown clock. Yeah. So this countdown clock is not the time left that I will become a millionaire, but this countdown clock actually shows you how much time left before we meet or we hit the 1.5 degrees C promise, okay, for the Paris Agreement. As you can see, we only left 5 years and maybe 100+ days. Yeah, so we really need to do something now. And before I go on, you're looking at what we're going to do now. Allow me to share with you what's our CBRE's own climate commitment. Yeah, for CBRE, our environmental and sustainability commitment is actually we signed a climate pledge and we commit to net zero carbon emission by 2040, which is actually 10 years ahead, okay, of the Paris Agreement signed by many companies and countries. So we are pretty aggressive on that. Yeah. And this pledge actually encompasses carbon emission from our CBRE's own operation, as well as the tenants, the properties we manage. So if you join CBRE as one of our clients, this 2040 target will be yours as well. So for CBRE, actually, how we're going to achieve the net zero target? Okay, we adopt this science-based target, yeah, as shown above. And because of our effort, in 2024, we have been awarded the gold rating by EcoVadis, international rating company, independent assessment company. Okay. So we got a gold from them, 2040. Yeah, so before I go on, actually, for many years, CBRE is actually trying to formulate what constitutes a good FM partner. Yeah. So we have
came up with many playbooks, best practices, and now I would like to share with you what CBRE constitute a good FM partner for you. So actually we strongly believe the integrated FM should be the backbone of the partner's business. So integrated FM. The technical service should be his heart and soul. Sustainability should be infused into his DNA. And project management capabilities should be running in his blood. He should be always ready to provide a one-stop service to help you to achieve your net zero target. And of course, with a strong body, you will need a smart brain. So actually, a competent FM partner to you should be supported by digital and technology. That is how makes him a smart FM. If you heard of anyone is willing to accept a dumb FM, please maybe you don't know or let me know. I'll be quite interested to know what constitutes a dumb FM. So lastly, a good FM partner should embrace the rise value. So what do I mean the rise value? Actually, it stands for respect, integrity, and service excellence. I think a good FM partner should have all these characteristics, especially the rise value. So before I go on, so once we have the foundation there, the outcomes will generally come into place. The outcomes you will see a reduction in the asset downtime. You will have significant energy savings because of the sustainability DNA. And you can also see a reduced work order because it's a more efficient FM. And with that in place, your journey towards the net zero carbon will be achievable. So you will stack on, you will hit your target, where many of you would like to have a lower life cycle cost, a lower total cost of ownership, and at the end of the day, you will meet your net zero target. And this is just a quick case study that we have for one of our clients, what we achieved for one of our clients. As you can see, we adopt the best practices, the digital and technology, the sustainability effort, the IFM model, and together we can see actually the total cost of ownership for this client, there's a 12% reduction. And because of the facility is so big, it adds up to $55 million USD in 5 years. So with all this in place, actually CBRE, I would say, has the right DNA, the right model, and the right best practices to help our client achieve the net zero target as well as a lower total cost of ownership. So I believe, that's all for my part. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Scott. So I think I'll probably leave my questions to the audience later on. So I would like to also give the chance for Ibu Rahmi to do and then I'll leave the questions to the audience next. Okay, silakan Bu.
Okay.
Thank you.
Push the. Okay, down. Thank you. Hi everyone. I'm Rahmi. So just want to share with you that our building, we call it as Red House. So it is an office, but it is also our house. Okay. So how do we make it like making sure that we feel comfortable working inside it, and then we don't feel like at the end of the day feel not comfortable inside the office. Okay, so we started the Go Green office project by the time that we just finished the transition from COVID in 2022, quite early on that, and then sorry if it's just too small for you to read, because I thought that it's only 2 pages, sorry. So basically what I want to bring you through is the framework for you to do the project is making sure that you know where you are right now. For instance, like at that time we started the project, and then we know that our building has been hibernated for 2 years time because of COVID, so we don't have a proper maintenance for the building, and then we have stacks of furnitures because of the COVID causing us not in a good position of closing some stations. At the end we have a pile of furnitures on it. But then when we started finish the COVID period, and then we want to rise our flight again, and then we had that recruitment. So our top management, Ibu CEO, also direct us that we have to do something about it, because our office waste production will keep increasing along the way. Okay, so there's no way that we can keep going on the way that we did at that point of time. Okay, so if you went to our office back then in 2022 in Q1, and you'll be amazed of what we had at the time. And if we have time, I can scroll down of the waste that we have collected here so far. It's quite amazing, because airline, I mean, you have your own waste product based on your business character. Okay, so for airline we have like the seat covers, like the luggages of the crew, right? And then a lot of merchandise, probably it has been expired because of the COVID period, so we have to do something about it. Okay, and then make sure that you know where your target is. Okay, so in this case we have so let me just point it out directly. So this is the target that we want to achieve, because of we have this company target of having sustainability of the environment and also people, governance, and so forth. So it's not like a miracle that we can go directly to achieve what we targeting. So it is a journey. So you have to do step by step. You cannot do all at one time. So that's why you have to do prioritization on that. And then also the target for us at that time is to make sure that we have a compliance of building permit, because one of the requirements is we have to engage a proper waste management company who is licensed to do so. So it's not like you can go to tukang loak, yeah, to throw your waste of your office waste. So you have to do it properly. And then the other one is because of the stacks of the boxes on the storage on top of the racks, then it is blocking the sprinkler to spray properly. So we have to do something about it in terms of safety as well. So how to do that? One of it is you have to obtain your top management support, because otherwise there's no way that you can move all of the business, all of the departments in different characters, because it's not easy to move people to do cleanup. And then anything that is applicable at your company, you can use any kind of tools, gap analysis, suit yourself on that, yeah. And do risk assessment, and then prioritize which one do you want to take action on that. So just to share with you, I haven't got the certification of IFM. We have Pak Emir as well. In this probably you can share, but taking the quotes of the requirements in the IFMA association facilities, so you don't have to invent the wheel, but you can just follow all of the requirements there. You can find the sustainability requirements, and then you can prioritize on the right side there. So our focus at that time, because we want to have a good workplace and site management, while actually the cost of not good workplace is because of the waste. So we focus on those two bottoms. Yeah. For this year, we will focus on the energy management. Okay. So that's as you can see, we managed to clean up the indoor area, because we put the furnitures inside the working area, and then outdoor as well, also other ways. Yeah. Okay. So this is basically the framework. So if you want to do your own project, then you can go ahead like this, and then how you do it, you can choose whichever your company suits you well. Okay.
Ready to start, Bu?
Sure. Next one. Oh, sorry. Should do it myself. Okay. Okay. Now, this is some of the example of the program. So it's not only one project. So it is a row of activities. Yeah. So I have my team there. Pak Jejen with the hat there. So Pak Jejen led the car auction because of the decision back then is to purchase cars, okay? But at the end of the day, then it will become our asset because it's not rental. So after like 10, 15 years old, then the maintenance cost probably is a lot higher, yeah, rather than you start leasing a new car with a good quality. So it's not like just throwing it like that. So we sold it to our all-stars. We call our employees as all-stars. So we did the auction program and then online, and then they bid, and then we make them bid high. Okay. So Pak Jejen made a good job on that. So basically to engage with waste management company, it will cost money, right? So we self-funded our program by doing the auction. One is the car, and then also the furniture and ICT equipment. Yeah. Then another one is based on our cleanup program, and then we asked Arah and EcoFriend to help us, and then they make this report for us, how many that we can recycle, how many that we have to dispose it to a proper place or burn it. Yeah. And we have the report, the detailed report, if you can scroll down later. And then at the end, because of all of not only this, we have other requirements that we have met, but to meet with the team that I brought about waste management, then we managed to get the building environmental permit, because to have a building and you have to have a permit, right, to do so. And then because of the space that we used to stack all of the furnitures now is empty, then we can build our own sport facilities behind. As you can see down there on the corner, that was the spot that we put our junk furnitures. So at the end, rather than just putting it as a junk area, then we change it. If you come over to AirAsia office, then you can see our lovely multi-sport, which is highly appreciated by all of the all-stars. So again, just to point out that our values dare to dream, nothing is impossible as long as we do it step by step. And then this is just to show that we have also a risk rating. So we on quarterly basis we have risk rating registration on how good that we have been performing in terms of closing up of our gap assessment. Okay. And then another one is just to share with you on the right corner there, because of the location that we used to have as furniture pile up, then we converted as it is in progress. So we are gonna have a proper and nice mother's room and also clinic. So right now we just use a meeting room as a clinic, which is not proper. So we're gonna make it in proper way. So probably that's the presentation. If we have time to scroll down or not?
No.
Okay.
Not yet, yes.
Okay, not yet. Okay. So if we have time. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you very much, Bu Rami. All right. So very good, integrated facility management through CBRE,
Yes,
and also
definitely.
with efforts on waste management, on using auction to funds and stuff. It's very clever, innovative stuff that we can learn. So I guess I would like to open some questions. How many questions do you think we can have? 5 minutes, so maybe 1 or 2 questions. So one from maybe this side, one half, another one from the other half. Any questions from the audience?
By the way, but I have 3 bags of goodies if there are some questions.
All right, so who can ask the best question? Come on.
Not as difficult ones, okay?
it's a flight ticket.
Thank you for flying with AirAsia. Hopefully you go to Singapore with AirAsia. The next one, okay?
Okay, any questions from the audience, please? Okay, silakan Pak. Let me, thanks. The gentleman at the back. Introduce your name and where you're from, which company?
Thank you. My name is Ernest. I'm from Lupo, Karawaci.
Oh.
Yeah. So my question to the gentleman from Daikin. I see that the development of your technology is quite, I think, impressive here. You can achieve the net zero by 2050. But how does it affect your pricing? Does it become much more expensive, or even you can get lower prices for that? Thank you.
Good question.
Okay, thank you, Pak. It's basically for our current models. It's actually we have the price competitive. So actually, let's say the residential area, residential aircons, we have the non-inverters and the inverter models. Inverter is the more saving. Actually, the price is not so big gap. Why the inverter looks more higher? Because non-inverter is cheaper. Right? So don't think that all the inverter model is higher price and so on. But if we still allow the non-inverter models to be sold in this country, of course, inverter model, the energy saving models will look more expensive. But anyway, let's make the simulations. Actually, our products is basically the aircons. Let's say the 3/4 horsepower actually equal with the LED TV 55-inch. So actually, I think it's an accepted price in the markets. But however, because the non-inverter is maybe half price than that, if the inverter looks expensive, then there's the Indonesia typical buyers. They will, if there's a cheaper one, I need to pay higher. Yeah. So why I want to deliver the message is the product is not very high. It's the acceptance market. But if that's why we need the support from the government to eliminate as soon as possible the non-inverter, actually star 1, star 2, or star 3. Let's go start the 5-star. Because as you can see, our TSPF 5-star is actually still lower than comparing the Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and ours inverter usage products in Indonesia markets is only 15%. Singapore is only 100%, all inverters. Thailand is 100%. Malaysia, yes, close to us is 25%. Right. So we need get support from the government as well. If we need the incentive or educate, and then the others, the price is, I think,
Is there any new technology that you introduce
New technology that you introduce that you
actually nowadays is products. Of course, we still deliver the inverter models, and also the VRV systems. Our newest technology. Then currently we also have the chiller systems with our magnetic bearings and also district cooling designs, which is now applied in our new capital city for the presidential place. And another thing is we want to not only deliver the products, but about the solutions to connect it. We open the clouds, how to manage your aircons, and also the monitoring your aircons, and how to make how to do the power audit in the next 5 years, for you to get more energy saving. Because the aircon's lifetime, let's say the maximum is 10 years, right? So we can do the power audit within 5 years, 6 years to reduce the more faster your break-even points.
Okay, thank you, Pak Kiroyan. Yeah, Mr. Kwas got some additional comment?
Yeah, just to share, I'm from Singapore, so let me share some Singapore market. in the past, I will use solar PV for example. In Singapore, solar PV in the past, the payback is 20 years. Yeah, in the past. 2 years down the road, it dropped to 11. Yeah. 3 months ago, I did a calculation for my client. It dropped to 5.3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, the market forces will generally make the price drop by itself. Okay. If today Daikin has a technology, I will guarantee you 2 months down the road, train representative, yacht representative will come look for you and say, we have this new technology to meet your 2050 goal. And another thing I would like to share is actually, yeah, in Singapore, actually, the government plays a very important role. Yeah. We legislate the green movement, meaning any new building, you need to meet a minimum efficiency standard.
Yes.
Yeah. So I believe this is what the Indonesia government try to push as well. And in Singapore, actually, just do a quick sharing, there's 4 pillars in place. First is legislation. Okay. Second is actually Singapore government requires all buildings to do a 3-yearly health check on their building performance. Yeah. So what you promise when you first build it, okay, you make sure it meets the efficiency every 3 years. The third pillar is actually incentive. Yeah. So Singapore government, you may think Singapore government is rich, it's because we pay a lot of taxes. Yeah, that's why they look rich. Yeah. So actually they came up with a lot of incentive, and one of the incentive I think just now I heard from the lady is, yeah, the GFA, the gross floor area. If you meet a minimum green building certification standard, you actually get an extra 1%, 2%. It may not sound a lot, but if that extra 2% is at the center of Jakarta, that value is a lot. And the last pillar is of course education. Yeah, I mentioned the university, and in Singapore, the Building Construction Authority actually set up an academy to train up the green professionals. Yeah, so this is what I'll share what's happening in Singapore, just for your reference.
All right, so that actually, on a positive note, wraps up today's discussion. Unfortunately, we don't have much time, but I'm sure that you can all come and talk to us, come and ask each of the speaker, and I think, Olivia will give the gift bag to the fine question. And I think BritCham also would like to invite Ibu Lydia and Jason to come up on stage to give some sort of token of appreciation to each of the speakers for tonight. So before we close off, we will give the tokens. So yeah, welcome Jason and Ibu Lydia. Oh, you can stand back. Yeah, I don't know how it works. Wow. Maybe at the.
Oh yeah, sure. Just give me I just need a mic, please.
Okay.
It's okay? Okay, let me get out of the way. Come to the back. I'm back. I didn't disturb anyone during their speech this time. From me, thanks to everyone. It's great to see the overspill in the back room as well, the amount of people that are interested to come into this event. So just before we give thanks to these guys, just a big round of applause to everyone for coming along. Big thanks to the CBRE team. Really good job. And for these guys, I was much happier going before you spoke rather than following you guys as well. But look, just from me, this is a topic that's really close to my heart, close to the business that I'm responsible for. I've learned an incredible amount today. It's really good to hear your reflections, and so thank you so much for preparing a deck and bringing that with you and sharing your thoughts with all of the team today. I know every single person's got something to take away that they would have learned from the session today. So thank you very much.
Okay. We'll give the token of appreciation to each of the speakers.
Awesome. Lily, if you give them out, I just would like to wrap up if that's okay. I just have a couple of words I would like to say on the back. Whilst we're handing these tokens out to you. So no, you guys need to look this way. You've got the gift. The rest of you can look here too.
Kevin, please. Kevin here.
The first one is Pak Kevin from Daikin. Please give him a round of applause. Number 2 is Burahmi from AirAsia. And we also have Ibu Farida from IFC.
Satu, dua, tiga. Sekali lagi satu, dua.
Next we got Pak Anthony from Kadin.
Satu, dua, tiga. Sekali lagi satu, dua.
And next we got Pak Mr. Kwok from CBRE.
Satu, dua, tiga. Sekali lagi satu, dua.
Thank you, Pak. Then finally, who is this for? For the idiots.
Satu, dua, tiga. Sekali lagi satu, dua.
Thank you. Hey. Yeah. Please, yeah.
Just wanted to make the trip worthwhile, so just get another turn back on stage as well. But look, the topic for this event was all about the role of a facilities manager when it comes to energy and achieving sustainability targets. And sitting in the back of the room listening to your presentations and like the commentary that was there, the role of a facilities manager is incredibly difficult because I see it in 3 parts, and excuse the soccer analogy that I'm about to use, but it's you're the manager, you're the coach, and you're the player, because the manager needs to set the strategy, the coach because you need to educate everyone else, and a player because you need to walk the walk yourself as well. So I think for me, just the reflection I had on all of the feedback from the presentations was we're expecting a lot from our facilities managers in all of our facilities that are there, and anything that we can do to support them is going to be pivotal to success. The one takeaway as well that I always like to share when it comes to energy sustainability, the biggest action anyone can take is to create a sense of urgency, because the clock that you shared, Boksoon, I'd never been on that page before. It's great to share. Just shows really what a lot of work we as a society need to do to achieve those goals. So thank you very much. It was great to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can stay here and take a picture together.
Oh yeah, and all the audience.
With the speakers first, and then we'll go to the audience. Can you stay here, Jason, and take a picture with the panelists?
Yeah. Ladies of the front.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can we move here, and then my team will take a picture from this stage.
So we'll stand here and we'll have the audience as well.
Everyone, guys, stand up and take a picture.
Can we all stand up, please? Yep. Thanks.
Kamera sini dulu. Gayanya bebas. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, beda nih.
Sebelah sini. 1, 2, 3. Kamera paling pojok sebelah sana. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Nice meeting you.
Udah pulang.
Ada kesimbangan sama.